and welcome back. We are exploring the lovely town of Arrowdown with the Doctor and his 4 compatriots. And we left off. They had helped to not power the rift. They helped to get power back to the rift to be able to get the machinery that was in the room to be able to do the thing to temporally shift or whatever they need to do.
All the things.
The things, with the
science
woozy ones
things.
and yes, those.
For science!
Science! So we were all gathered in the hallway, correct? When we left?
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Wallace, you were there too?
Yeah, I figured I'm lamenting not having rubber boots.
Yes, that would make sense. All right. Well, it looks as if you've restored hopefully enough power for me to be able to reboot this the next time, but it does have to start before I can get back to the beginning, if that makes any sense.
As much as anything makes sense when you're with the Doctor.
So, right. I still can't believe I've met you. But the attack will begin any moment now, and they will be coming for Monroe's. So we need to make sure that this building remains safe. So if we could have, let's have Doctor, Mr. Taylor, if you could stay here and help me with this equipment, then either or. And then if we wanted to send 2 people to either door, to the outside, then we could have hopefully protect the building long enough for us to get this rebooted once everything kicks off.
Oh,
And
outside.
another alarm sounds, by the way.
Now, we've just barely met, so I am very much in fan of staying inside and working the equipment with you, because while my heart is with you, I am worse than useless in a fight.
And before we go our separate ways, do you know how one of these things can be killed? Because you said they're plastics, right?
Oh, yes.
So guns not really going to do it, I'm assuming?
They do have quite a bit of armor. The best way I have found to take one down is actually just to take its head off entirely. It's very difficult to do, of course, from a distance. But
no problem if you are skilled in katana.
I'm looking for a sledgehammer.
You will see a sledgehammer laying along with the tools on the side if you want to grab it.
Yeah, Martha's going to look for something because her gun and it's not going to be helpful right now.
Okay.
I have no idea. Sledgehammer might be a little too much.
Okay.
But
could I look for a flamethrower?
That's what I was thinking. But you already have katana. Why do you need a flamethrower?
Hush. Can I look for a flamethrower?
Yes, you certainly can. Let's say, with this rift room, there's like a storage closet with a lot of different materials inside.
Yeah,
there's not a.
I could make one. Yeah, like a makeshift flamethrower.
There's
not. That's what I was looking.
It doesn't exist yet, but give me a craft and ingenuity coordination.
Okay.
And we'll say that this
do you have jiggery pokery as a skill? You can get a bonus off of that.
So
no.
I'm sure there's something to create.
A lighter and a can of body spray, which is.
I'm gonna use a skill point since I rolled Snake Eyes.
Sure.
So. Okay, that was better. That was much better. Okay. So crafting is 0, ingenuity is 5, got a 5, and that was a 6, 16.
Okay. So that it was tricky, but you managed. So you find there was like a little blowtorch, and you managed to find a dispersal method for that blowtorch, basically. So you now have it It's got, we'll say, a 15-foot range on it.
Okay.
So you can make a good sweep of killing things if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna keep the gun on hand because hopefully I'm a good enough marksman to be able to aim appropriately. Does it? What happens if I
Sure.
saw them in half, like torso wise? Does it have to be the neck? Like, can I?
I to be honest, most of the time I'm down here trying to get this restarted, so I
Okay.
don't always get it fixed. But I mean, I always get this part restarted, but I don't always, mow down all of the people. I don't. I really don't know the best way to go about the combat side of things, but
Okay.
as long as you keep us inside safe and you keep the doors barricaded, I think we'll be okay.
So you're saying we should all just stay inside and try to get this restarted?
They do manage to get through the doors once in a while.
We
There's
should
been a few
barricade the
times.
doors then.
Yeah. Well, they're
Yes.
already steel enforced window.
The windows
covering.
are reinforced. The doors are reinforced as they can be, but they're not as good as the windows. Like she made
Okay.
sure that nobody would come in through the windows, but like the doors she struggles with.
So
So-
after, sorry, Clea, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So after this resets, like the whole world will reset, or will we still be in here, but time will then continue?
It's only a bubble. This space, this town, is the only thing I've been able to reset. Only thing I've needed to reset.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's just the Autons come and they attack, and then they go away, and then it all goes back to normal.
Well, the reason why I asked is because these doors have metal hinges, I'm assuming,
Sure.
and I've got a flamethrower. Could we weld them shut?
You could sure try. You have about 5 minutes now.
What about metal from the kitchen? Could we use that with the maybe tables putting up against the doors, using whatever metal we have from the kitchen? Doctor, we might be able to use you for this part.
Yeah, I was just actually gonna say the sonic screwdriver has both the weld and the lock keyword, so it can
Yeah.
weld things. Yeah.
Excellent. So, I'm going to say you have 10 minutes, so this is going to be difficult to
Okay.
do.
Excellent.
So
How many doors are we talking about here?
there's two,
Two,
one
okay.
on
Two.
either end of the building.
Okay.
Okay.
So the one that's facing the fun fair is going to be your more pressing need, so you'll want to address that one. And then I'll say if you get that one done, then we can roll with less difficulty for the other. Cool.
Okay.
I'll go stand by the back one just in case.
I'm gonna
Cool.
grab oh Lord, maybe a baking pan from the kitchen, as nasty as it is, and drag a table over to the door.
Yes,
Okay.
give them diseases. Give the
Okay.
plastic mannequins diseases.
So what sort
So,
of check for weld?
Let's do ingenuity and craft, or knowledge, or technology.
Let's do it then. Yeah.
Do the science thing.
17, 24.
Ooh,
Wow. Okay, you
I
cleared
like
the
that.
difficult task.
9
Heck
in
yeah.
ingenuity. Yeah, it's
Wow.
yeah.
Awesome. So you managed to barricade this well enough that you don't think anything's going to get through. This should be primo barricade right now. So
Cool.
Thank you,
and I will
Doctor.
say that took you 7 minutes. You have 3 if you want to go try to do something quick to the back door.
Of course. Yeah, let's do it. Always to
Okay.
the last second.
Yeah.
Running. Yes.
Yeah, let's run
Okay.
over there.
Do
So
I need to drag another table, or is there one by the back door?
Sure, there's a brochure table.
20.
Okay.
Pretty small.
Yes, you managed to weld that one shut too. So you're all nice and safe inside. And outside, you hear screams, and people are suddenly around, and you can see out of one of the windows that is not completely closed over, but has really thick glass and like bars on the outside. You can see that there are people running around, and the town is suddenly back to life. There
Oh my
are-
gosh.
There's people everywhere, and it looked like it started off as kind of a nice day, but then these plastic things are coming, and you see somebody in like 1950s kind of sailor garb almost is mowed down by one of these Atons, and then one of the there's like a family and the child has been lost in the
Oh
middle of the
God.
road, and it is taken down by another one of the mannequins, and you're just watching you not.
Can I help speed up the reset process or
Okay,
something?
and
With that's
Martha,
a
I
doable?
have to go outside and help these people. Like, I can't
You
just
can't.
stay inside and be safe. I have to go out. Can I get out?
Martha, what's done is
Without-
done. The doors are welded shut.
Like, is there a back door through the kitchen or a window?
Both doors are welded shut, Martha.
Can I
What's
jump
done
from
is
the
done.
second story? Like,
I'd
That's
like to
excessive.
make a note that I said I was standing outside.
Oh,
I thought that's
you say
what
you
we
were standing
doing.
outside?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, so Wallace, you see a small child that was separated from their family.
God.
They're now walking up to the door at Monroe's, running away. What do you do?
Okay, so these Atons, are they traveling in like a horde, or are they just kind of spread out, each going after the nearest person?
They're kind like they came forward in a big gaggle of them, and so now they're individuals that are going for
Okay.
individual people.
All right.
So there's only one that's following this little girl.
So I am just going to sprint ahead with the sledgehammer in hand and swing to try and just break the body.
It's hammer time.
Yeah, it is hammer time. And I'm gonna use a story point for that because
Ooh,
I
like
want
it.
to break it. What are we?
Sure. So we will say that that gives you resolve or strength and athletics or fighting.
Okay. That is a math. All right. 27.
oh, nice.
Wow. Okay, so you come running up and you do not want this little child to be taken down. So you have your sledgehammer high and you come across, just catch that neck at the right point, and the head goes flying. And this poor vampire Aton didn't know what hit it, and it just falls to the ground, completely immobile.
And yeah, I'm gonna motion to the girl to get by the door, and like, if there's still windows there, even if they're like barricaded up, just stand by them.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a way out of this. I cannot believe I set myself up to be so useless.
Okay, so I will save you the time. And as this little girl is walking up to the door and Wallace is walking with her, she disappears. Everything is reset. The people who were mowed down are suddenly gone. The Atons are no longer anywhere to be seen, as this wave of, the doctor would know, Cronin energy radiates out from the rift, and you can see that it goes out to where you've seen that kind of haze in the distance. That's how far the energy expands, and that's the bubble that you are currently in.
So, who is looking for a nice, relaxing, seaside vacation for the, ride a few roller coasters, figure out what's going on
So-
with these Atons?
Marth, I'm immediately looking for something to yank that door because I will not be caught inside.
Okay,
Again.
So everything that you did,
The
everything
door
that
everything
is
happened
is
open.
outside,
undone.
Yeah, it's all
it's
done.
all undone.
Okay, I'm
So-
immediately going outside because the stress
Okay.
that I was under, I can't.
Okay.
Okay,
Do-
so you
did I
run
lose-
outside.
Yes.
Did I lose my sledgehammer?
Yes, your sledgehammer is gone too.
I think like as the time was being reset, I was just going for another one and like getting ready to swing again. And then when it happens, like all the momentum is carried and I just plow to the ground.
So
Oh,
Wallace is
poor
laying on the ground.
Wallace.
Actually, that probably happened to me too, considering how hard I was trying to get out of the door.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And did she say how long we have for the reset?
You will know, just because you're attuned to time. Sure.
Okay.
It went back approximately 12 hours. So you came in and you had about 3 hours before the attack happened, and so now you have a full 12-hour day.
Okay.
And
Quick,
it's the
there's no
same
time to
every
waste.
time.
To the carnival, and he'll take off running.
Okay.
Oh,
And
back on
here
the
we
road?
go.
Yep.
Yep.
'Cause,
We're
yeah.
all running because doctor.
Okay.
Some
you get to the-
3 minutes later, Mr. Taylor and What's Her Bucket come up the stairs. They're like, "Great, we got it all reset. Where is everybody?"
Because we left you.
It's true.
No,
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
So so the doctor takes off running. Mr. Taylor, I'm going to have you do awareness and figuring out the doctor. What would that be? Knowledge?
Futility?
Utility.
Is there a
Okay.
Get your
futility check?
futility skill, please.
Okay, perfect. 15.
Okay. So she would have mentioned at some point that I think I mentioned it before, that the ghost train seems to be where most of these Atons are coming from. So it's like the vampires and the werewolves and things like that.
Yeah.
So you think maybe that might be where they go, but you're not sure 100%.
Well, we can't be losing our linchpin. Okay, you stay here. I'm gonna go check the ghost train. Or maybe you should come with.
I'll stay here and make sure that the rift doesn't get up to anything. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan. That's fully inside of your ballywick. Be right back. And
All right. So the doctor and Madam Vastra, Wallace, and Martha, correct? You were all with him? Okay. So you get up to the fun fair, and it is a lovely little place. All of the rides are in motion. So it's like there's people getting on and off of them, but there's no people around. You don't see individuals like actually on the rides. They're just going. So there's like a little bumper car, there's the Ferris wheel, there's the what are those called? The ones that spin around really fast and then go up 90 degrees and then go back down. Do you know what
Like
I'm
the
talking about?
gyrosphere or something?
Something like that. Whatever the name of it happens to be in
Spinning
your
death.
town.
Vomit-inducing contraption.
Yes. Vomit-inducing, yes. And then there's the ghost train, as Teresa was talking about. And yeah, just stuff like that. So currently, there's nobody around.
Okay, so as we see this, because it looks like people are using these things, they're just not there.
Correct.
Is it something that might have what is the word I'm looking for? Over, like, the people aren't necessarily gone, they've just been pulled into maybe another dimension or something where you see
Sure.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, you
Um,
already know that you're in a temporal loop for sure
yeah,
within the
but
city, and this is included with that.
so the people only get pulled, but not the motion of the things they affect.
Maybe it's all very wibbly wobbly.
Yeah,
Timey-wimey, that's the
The
thing.
seagulls stopped and the donkeys didn't.
I'm sorry, I
Stuff's
didn't hear
moving.
that. Wallace?
The seagulls stopped and the donkeys are moving and the wind is gone, but the machines are going. Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Something's afoot.
Always.
Things up.
Okay, how far away are we from the edge of the barrier, I guess?
It's at the far end of this fun fair ride area. So like just behind where the Ferris wheel would be is where that haze begins.
So it's not very far at all.
No, we'll say it's a kilometer less, 3/4 of a kilometer to the edge.
Yeah, that's not very far. Doctor, what are we doing?
I'm
my
going
inclination.
to proceed to continue to run up to the closest control panel for one of these rides.
Okay.
One of those ride booths. I'm gonna Sonic it and see if I can turn off one of the rides.
Okay. Let's do ingenuity. Yes.
Excellent.
And science, technology.
Okay. 24.
Okay. So you manage to surmise that the control that exists in this time is not actually controlling the ride. Like you're seeing the effects of something that's from another time, probably within the time loop, possibly just from, like the beginning of the time loop, whenever that started happening, that you don't have any control over this portion.
Hmm.
Can you see the
Okay.
source?
I will say with that roll, you do pick up that there is a kind of energy that you would relate to the Nestine consciousness that is
Always.
what is usually used to control the autons. That signal that it sends out to control the plasticky things that you're picking up as you're examining this particular ride.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. Is that a Doctor Who nesting consciousness, or is that a just regular nesting consciousness?
Nestine consciousness is a thing outside of Doctor Who?
Oh yeah, have you not seen Rick and Morty? The
It's
consciousness.
like
Yeah, I immediately
kind
went
of
to
a
Doctor Who. I
metaphysical
didn't
term.
even know that was.
I'm just curious. If it's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Doctor Who. That's the episode with the mannequins, the very first one from the reboot.
Okay.
And the
Yeah.
Doctor would very much know what that kind of energy looks like. So
Cool. And what direction is it coming from?
I'm gonna say you're able to figure out that it's the ghost ride. Because of all of the things, like everything looks like it's standard traveling fair kind of thing where it's not necessarily here all of the time. But the ghost house, however, looks very well built, and like it probably has areas underneath it that potentially have things in it. And
Okay.
that's where you're getting that energy from.
Okay. And would have all of this like sciencey stuff and like poking around been enough time for Mr. Taylor to have caught up?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
All right, I'm here. I hope we didn't find anything without me.
We actually solved it.
Curses. Okay, I guess it's all for the best, but oh, I'm out of shape. Good work, team.
Or, we have to go find the nesting consciousness. So
All aboard the ghost train.
All aboard. Can I do some investigate? Well, yeah, I wanted to just investigate where like the entrance for the ghost house.
Okay.
For
Let's
any
do
traps.
awareness and subterfuge because you're trying to identify.
Oh no, dice down.
No.
Okay, I got it. That was a 6. 10 plus 7, 17.
Okay. So as you're walking in to the ghost house, you sorry. You notice that there is a entrance, kind of it looks like a employee area basically over to the side. So like you go to get on the train, and then like across the tracks there's an entrance to what would probably be like a maintenance something. But there's no there's no traps per se here, at least. And everything's been reset, so the Autons aren't moving yet.
But you said that there is an employee area that's over to the side. Can I go and check that out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and do an investigation over there. I'm looking for just any signs of it being messed with. Maybe aliens.
Okay.
That, or maybe signs of the consciousness. Would this be another awareness, knowledge, maybe, or subterfuge?
Yeah. They're
both the same. So
sure.
Ooh, that wasn't good. Yeah, this wasn't good at all. 7, 11, no, 12.
Okay. So it's a door. It leads down. There's like stairways. It's a stairway going down. You have no idea like what. Maybe there's stuff stored under there for the train or whatever.
I'm gonna come back over to the group and just let the group know, hey, I found this door that may not be a direct entrance into a potential trap. Maybe we should go check it out. It looks suspicious.
I want to do my own examination of any sort of
Sure.
whatever might be there, whether it be alien or human, whatever.
Right.
So am I doing the same thing?
Yeah. It would be awareness and
and
knowledge or subterfuge.
okay, well, subterfuge is one more, so we'll do that.
There you go.
17.
Okay. So you are able to look at this and see that indeed it is going down, and you think it's going way deeper than anything that should be at a fun fair should be going. Like at most there should be like a crawl space, underneath to fix a thing. So this is very clearly a well-constructed going downstairs into what you don't know, but this is weird that this exists here for sure.
Excellent. Mysterious stairs with a door at the top. I'm gonna unlock the door with the sonic screwdriver, walk straight down it.
This is enough intrigue for me to just blindly follow.
Yeah,
Adventures afoot, pop up.
Yep. Plot hook taken.
I take a deep breath and I follow too.
Wallace as well?
It's not as if there is a railroad, but there is a, apparatus on tracks that is running by us. So I can see which way the wind's blowing.
We already established earlier the wind isn't blowing at all. It's that time stuff.
Dang it, you're right.
I'm generally perplexed by you, Mr. Taylor. What is this?
It's not just you.
Is it an act or what time period?
No. That was just me talking. Just me, Mac.
Okay.
I don't worry. You know when I'm talking.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
Okay. So, as you go down these stairs, you are followed. And there are Autons that are now awake and coming after you. What would you like to do? Oh, sorry, let me explain the hallway. So you come down, so there's the top stairs and they, go back and forth. So there's 4 flights of stairs down to the bottom. And then in front of you is a hallway, and it's relatively rough. Like this maybe was just carved quickly. It's tall enough for you to get through, but it seems really just either very quickly or somebody just didn't plain care as they were burrowing out. So it's long
carved. Is it turning toward the bay? Of course it's going out toward the bay.
Give me an awareness and a survival.
If this involves a Dalek, I'm going to be very upset.
11, so not great.
Nope. You're just like, yep, there's a tunnel here.
Tunnel.
Doo-doo-doo.
Oh my lord. And we're currently being followed by the whatever woke up, whatever, however many of them. Can we tell how many yet?
You could turn around and look if you want.
I am definitely going to turn around and look.
Okay.
If I
Don't look
hear
around.
them.
That only makes it worse.
Don't look for evidence.
When you make
No.
eye contact with the
This is not the silent.
No, it's not.
or the weeping angels.
No.
We're
Neither.
not talking about them.
Awareness and subterfuge. We'll do that.
Okay.
For Martha.
Awareness. 7. 14.
Okay. There are 4 autons coming down the stairs after you. But they are on the first flight of stairs and you're at the bottom.
Okay, but we can see them. How much light is
Yeah.
in this whole space? Is it enough for us to see?
It's there are like wall sconces on
Okay.
the walls every so often, but it's like that bare kind of like we just barely put up enough so that you can see to not fall over yourself kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's dim.
We
but-
might want to figure out what we're gonna do because there are guests coming.
I know the perfect solution. Run! And he's gonna run.
Further into the tunnel, correct?
Of course.
Yeah.
There's a tons behind us. There's a
Mhm.
tunnel in front of us.
Mhm.
You run.
Go forward.
And
Excellent.
we're running.
Okay.
Hey, I have a trait that says run for your life. I'm just, it's right here on the sheet. I can.
You're getting your
I'll
mileage.
let you roll for everyone then.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's have a resolve and athletics plus run for your life.
Excellent. Okay. Resolve athletics. Okay, 9.
Thank
plus 9.
goodness he's doing the roll.
Yeah. Yeah, my next step is calling unit, and I don't think that's what we need right now.
That's 16.
That would not help.
But I'm
16?
also going to add 2 of my story
I
points
was
on
about
top
this.
of that.
6.
Oh,
That's
wow, okay.
horrible.
So I'm gonna say that pops it up to fantastic result,
Okay.
which would, because a 16 you would make it. So with the yes and result, you are able to run all the way to the end of the tunnel. There is a nice solid door at the end, so you get everybody into the next room. You're able to shut the door. The autons are no longer a threat. And in front of you,
I'm going to sonic the door locked.
perfect. And in front of you, there is a man that looks kind of like a ringleader, like from a circus, like he's wearing that kind of an outfit. And if any of you happen to look at the picture of the lady's husband that was sitting on the bedside, it looks a lot like him.
Oh, good. Now we're safe.
But you look awfully familiar. We've met your wife earlier.
I'm
I say
sorry, my wife. What are you talking about? What are you doing here?
Well, we've come to find you, of course.
Give me a subterfuge and presence.
And presents.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Ooh, 15.
Okay. No one knows I'm here. Of course you didn't come to find me. And you will see around the edge of the room, now that you're actually taking time to look, he's in the middle of it. There is a vat of some kind of a liquid off to the left or the right side of the room. And then there's 4 autons just standing around you.
Are the Atons moving or?
They are starting to come to life, yes, as he's moving them. Can I have Mr. Taylor or Wallace either give me awareness and technology?
Wallace, do you want to take this one?
Well, I have a question. I think we can both go, right?
Sure.
Yeah, no, my question is Teresa reacting at all to seeing her
She's not with you.
She's not,
No,
or she
no,
dive
she
off?
stayed in
she
the
stayed back.
hotel.
Mhm.
My bad.
Can I tell if he looks human?
Yes. Go ahead and give me awareness and medicine?
That would be important to knowing if someone is human, sure.
And you're a doctor. Like, you should be proficient in this, right?
17. 17 for awareness, medicine,
Okay.
and the dice. Yeah.
Okay, so as you're looking at him, he has half of his face looks very normal. The other half is plastic. And his hat, he's wearing like a top hat. Like he 100% is dressed up like a ringleader right now, ringmaster. And the tails, the red coat, all that. But he has half of his face that looks like it's made of plastic. So human-esque. You're not sure that he's 100% human, or if it's just like he had Phantom of the Opera feel going on
Yeah.
or something.
Can I determine if he can be saved, salvaged? Can the human be pulled and separated?
You would need to get closer and do a much more in-depth
And thorough.
investigation to figure that out. Yeah.
Whew, how far away are we? How much space do we have between us and all
30
the
feet?
things?
It's 30 feet from you to the guy in the middle of the room. It's another 20 feet to the pool of whatever. The four things on the outside walls are within 25 feet. Well, it's like 20, 25. So there's like two closer to the door, two further away.
Because if we can save him, we have to. But I'm not quite to the point where I want to run into the middle of that. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna go check out that pool.
So
Yeah,
what did Wallace and Taylor get?
I got below a 10.
Okay.
16.
Okay. So you noticed that as these batons start moving, he had kind of made a signal with his hand or something like that you can figure out that he's maybe controlling them. He might be the source of this. So okay, so that's the room in general. So why do you think you know me? He looks at the doctor. Or no, Madam Vester, whoever said that.
I didn't say it.
Madam Vaster. Vaster.
Well, we've met your wife, of course. We've had extensive conversations, even prepared to go through battle with her. She's quite the formidable ape.
I'm not familiar with... For whom do you speak? Of whom do you speak? I don't know.
I'm going to... how far am I from Madame Vastra? Am I standing right next to her?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I want to kind of under my breath tell her, like, hey, he's not fully human. He may not understand what you're talking about. He seems to be part plastic.
Yes, I'm just not coming to that conclusion, but I want to see how much information he might know about what's going on here.
Well, the best
So
way to
what
figure
are
that
you
out is
doing
just
here?
to ask him. Yeah.
What are you doing here? What is your name? Who are you?
I don't know.
We're prepared for us to talk to it in a Doctor Who game?
Has got a
No,
name.
I just forgot what he knows.
There's so much, yet so much to
Because there's something that happened that he doesn't know that I don't remember what he does and what he doesn't.
Oh, that sounds very confusing.
All right. So he just looks very confused and says, "Well, I'm this." And he walks over to the pool and he starts to he reaches his hand in and it behaves like plastic and like he's petting it like it's kind of plasticky. Like
That's pretty grimy there.
melted plastic.
You're doing all right. You got all dressed up for a carnival and known to show. Just hanging out in a room here. What, you waiting for the lines to come out?
Sorry, I was trying to talk to somebody else. Give me a, let's say, presence and convince roll. Either the doctor or Wallace, whomever wants to ask the question.
I am going to use a story point for that, because presence, one of the things that I got, but not too hot on convincing. 16.
16? Okay. Do you want to roll as well, Doctor?
Sure. So 9, and you said what was the modifiers for it?
Oh, awareness and convince.
Awareness and convince. Okay, so 14, 18, and then I also have voice of authority. Would that apply to this? It gives me an extra +2 on telling people to tell me information.
Yes.
Okay, so that would make it 16.
Okay. So the plastic itself, as you're asking the question in the pool, it starts to writhe, and it doesn't quite behave the way you would expect a pool of plastic to behave.
I think you're assuming a lot about our understanding and expectations regarding pools of plastic. I don't know about you, but
It's not staying still or
perfect.
bubbling like it's boiling or something.
As somebody with experience with a Nestian consciousness, does this seem like the vat that the consciousness is in? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So
Is-
it
is-
is moving and writhing about, and the person in front of you, Alan is his name, is standing there just transfixed by the movement of the Nestine consciousness as you know it.
Is there any wiring around, any power outlets, anything that might produce energy, specifically electricity?
There's the lights coming down.
The lights.
So,
but nothing more exposed or attainable, I guess. I would have to go into and no.
no, nothing like that. It's the only thing would be the lights up on the wall, and there's 6 of them around the room.
Okay.
And then the autons, however they're moving, but you don't know that that's necessarily electricity.
Yeah, no, not with a consciousness. Anything like I'm either looking for extreme heat or extreme cold.
Okay. Would Madame Vaster have kept the flamethrower with her?
Oh yeah, the flamethrowers. I mean, as long as it didn't disappear when time reset, I have it.
Oh, it would have. Shoot.
I actually have an idea. I will spend another one of my points.
Okay.
To get an epiphany.
Aha.
I know something. I have an epiphany. What's my epiphany?
Okay. This seems like the last time you encountered the Nestine consciousness, it was in a gigantic pool. Like it was gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons of plastic. This, relatively speaking, is tiny. It is maybe 20 gallons at most. And so it's not nearly like the last one was, hundreds of gallons, if not thousands.
Mhm.
So this is just a tiny little like kiddie pool almost of
Oh.
nesting consciousness. So you know that it's not nearly as strong. It's not going to be able to do the things that the last time it was trying to take over all of humanity. This time it's just a little tiny bit of it.
This is from that one episode in the Ecclestein series where
Mhm.
it's
The
like
first one.
that is
Yep.
like one of the few episodes I've seen.
Yeah, it's the very first episode. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yay!
Okay.
Because
Okay.
now I'm thinking maybe it's something we should, maybe it's young. Can we tell the age of this
Yeah.
consciousness?
Okay, go ahead and give me
Doctor, I think
What the
you
doctor
should
Sonic.
got
know.
that?
It'll have to be Sonic.
Okay. Let's
Give
Sonic
me
it.
I'm like, because Martha
um
don't know.
no, she wouldn't. Let's do ingenuity and technology for this one.
Okay.
Or
So
medicine.
on my dice, I've rolled a 3 so far. So
Rude.
I think this is important. We'll spend another one. We'll just blow through all these points.
Can I
while we're at
donate
it.
one of my
game.
points to him, or 2 of my points to him?
He has 12 points. He's probably okay. I think we're
The
down
doctor
4.
starts off with 7.
Oh, you should have had 12. I'm sorry.
That's cool. I was like, he has a lot of other
He's been
abilities.
going
So
through points like crazy.
I
Or
like
I
these
will
points.
also allow other people to donate if we're going to stick with the 7. That's fine.
6.
I don't care.
Okay, and then you said ingenuity, so that's 15. And what else after ingenuity?
Oh, sorry. Ingenuity and technology or medicine?
Technology. Okay, I think that makes it a 20. 20, yes.
20. Okay. So you're going to be able to, with your sonicking, figure out that it is actually just a chunk of nesting consciousness. You're not 100% sure if this is like the last nesting consciousness that like if there's more than one of them in the universe, but it has the same readings as that last one, so either it's just a piece of that one or there's another smaller duplicate of it. You're not 100% sure, but it's definitely the exact same thing, like as far as what it can do.
Doctor, do you think that this consciousness may have been trapped in here? Just a piece of it.
Piece of it down here for a very long time.
Just egging for a way to get out. Doing the
Alone?
only thing that it knows best.
So, Madam
Possible,
Vastra,
yeah.
do you think if we remove the time loop that's happening right now, that it's going to set this thing free?
It'll solve one of our
Because
problems.
maybe it hasn't grown because it can't. It keeps resetting.
Yes,
Well-
but the autons though. Oh, how do
I need to go home.
Oh,
It
Home.
speaks.
I think it's trapped.
Everything speaks.
home. Where's home? Where's your home?
My home was destroyed in the Time Wars.
Oh, God.
I feel
I
it,
need a home to go to. That rift can take me there. And it's actually Alan that is speaking, but
Yeah.
like his mouth is moving, but it has a different voice to it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So can all of us communicate with it or only the doctor?
No, you can. He's talking just normally. Well, normally.
Which home did you find?
I need a planet to go to.
Well, there's billions of
need-
planets out there. We could find one.
Food.
Uh,
to
what's your
feed.
food?
I don't think it's chips.
That's why there's none to be found.
We solved it.
I did not see that coming. Thank you.
What does it eat?
I've seen a tub right there. Can't stick it
I-
next to an oil field.
I'm sorry.
Can't stick it next to an oil field. I thought that's what plastics are made of.
I mean, yes, you're right. But I need thought and plastics to command. Can you take me away from here, or shall I take the rift?
That's,
Oh Lord.
And the
I'm sure we can
Atons
find
move forward.
somewhere.
Is there a planet that has plastic or
Well,
equivalent?
we can use the TARDIS to find one of these planets. Sure, there must be maps in a database somewhere that we can use to find something that would be suitable for Alan.
To give
is
thought and plastic?
Well, it would be a simple search for the TARDIS,
Uh-huh.
right, Doctor?
Of course. Yes, very simple. Do a quick scan of all space-time and find the perfect place, of course.
Yeah, and then pish posh, Bob's your uncle.
What sort
I
of
don't
things
feel-
that thoughts were usually like civilized folk? I mean, Lizard Lady over here thinks too. I don't think we'd send it to wherever she came from.
I am from Earth. I predate all of you.
All right. We're not going to send it back in time so I could just muck about and eat all your, I don't know, salamanders.
Should I take offense to that?
Depends your stance on salamanders, I suppose.
Hmm. I'm just gonna give him an eye roll, and I'm taking a slight offense to the lizard comments. I've heard it once already from you ape folk. Okay.
I have to admit, the thing that I'm most worried about offending right now is not so much you, Madame Vastra, but the, risking the ire of the capricious plastic thing. So,
Back to
can
the
we
task.
do this thing?
I'm
Yeah.
positive we can find it at home. I'd like...
Although I do think it's worth us getting a little bit of clarification on thought.
Yeah, my concern as well. Like, how can we have thought? How do you use thought? Can we ask that? Does it do damage?
I need thought to live. I must consume thought to live.
Doctor, I don't like the sound of this thing.
I don't either.
Yeah,
It's got
but
real vibrato.
I'm
It's really freaking me out.
I'm hesitant to want to hurt it though, because it's speaking with us. It's not
It's
like the
talking.
other one we've heard about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we use the sonic screwdriver and or use some kind of telepathy to communicate with the ship, and then from there see if we can find a suitable home with that, or maybe the internet.
Are any of you paying attention to give me awareness and survival?
Oh God.
Oof.
16.
Okay. So you don't see it. Oh, well, 16. It's not really tricky. Yeah, okay. So you see that the Atons are now out and they are now next to each of you other than the doctor. So everybody give me coordination, and dodging would be athletics, I think.
I have a trait called quick reflexes.
Okay.
Romana Vastra, does that give me a plus for this roll?
Yes, you would get a +2.
Okay.
Yeah, all I have is bravery,
Coordination
which
and
means
survival.
Yes.
Okay. Also another dice.
Survival's good too.
Almost did. Oh, nice. Okay. So that's 10 on the dice, and then 13, 17.
You
Okay.
said awareness.
So you manage to notice that you're about to be grabbed, and you step off to the side just before the Aton grabs you from behind. Mr. Taylor, Wallace, you, Martha?
Yeah, I'm burning a story point to give myself the extra dice on this one.
15. Yeah, I might need to do that too.
As I come out of the grass, can I just grab my katana instinctually and be ready to?
Mhm.
Okay.
So I rolled a 9. You said plus survival is 12 plus what was the attribute?
Oh,
Coordination,
I had
athletics.
coordination and
Coordination.
survival
Right.
or athletics.
So that would be 16 plus the extra die will be
You're
20.
Yep, you were also able to step out of the way.
15 for
Taylor.
Mr. Taylor.
And I'm taking
Okay.
away one of my points because I spent it.
So, Mr.
Okay.
Taylor, you are grasped. One of the arms reaches around and grabs you. Wallace, how did you do?
I rolled a 17 as well.
Okay, so you also managed to step out of the way. And so now the Atons are attacking. Mr. Taylor is half grappled. That's not the way they phrase it in this game, but anyway, you know what I mean. You're half held onto. And so the other 4 of you are there, and Alan is currently standing there by the pool. So the way combat goes in this particular game, we start off with the people who are wanting to talk go first. The people who want to run go second. The people who want to do something that's not an attack roll go third, and then the people who are attacking go last. Okay? So,
Okay.
talking? Who's talking?
I've got something to say.
After you, Mr. Taylor.
Okay. For starters, let go of me, you odious thing! And then an aside that's just like, I do think Alan's the one who's control of this. And then that should be fine for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually going to, having recognized that Mr. Allen is controlling this thing, I'm gonna kind of non-threateningly, in all of my Martha innate goodness, I'm going to I'm gonna try and talk to him. I want to, the whole, see, as a person, I'm not good at this, but Martha is, so I'm at a struggle here.
It's okay. That's what rolling is for.
Yeah, right. So, Alan, I know it may not seem like it, but you have an entire life that is more than this. You don't have to hurt anyone. We can figure this out.
Okay, go ahead and give me a... We're going to call that presence and convince, I think.
Ugh, 2 of my lowest
Or-
scores. Okay,
Or if you want to try to...
let's see. Convince.
Or
is
ingenuity and convince, one of the two.
Ingenuity works a little bit better. Hold on. Oh,
'Cause you're trying to
God.
convince it.
This is not going well at all. So can
You've
oof.
lent Martha your speaking abilities today.
And I can't math all of a sudden. Hold on. So 9.
Nope.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I
How long till
am
I can
who
try again?
Next round. I am who I am. I've been saved by the Nestine consciousness. Okay, so anybody else talking?
Yeah, I guess I'll talk. Saved by the consciousness. How? Exists without it?
When I almost died, it saved me. It rebuilt me as part of it.
Go.
Without
how
it,
it
I
needs
would
thought.
be gone.
Brains.
Got it. Okay.
Still looking.
Cool. Cool
So
attack.
do you want to roll anything for that?
Yeah. What?
We're gonna call that ingenuity and convince, or
I can do that. Yeah.
since you're asking questions, it could also be like science or medicine.
We can do ingenuity and convince. That's fine. Oh, double sixes. Double sixes.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Nice.
Okay. So
Save
that's
me.
17.
More
21.
than okay. So from his answer, because you are the doctor, you are able to recognize and just the epiphany of it all. You realize that the car accident that happened might not have been exactly as Teresa described because she doesn't remember. She was thrown from the car or whatever. And that perhaps he, or maybe he died in it and the Nestine consciousness was there to bring him back. And somehow they combined into one connected creature of some sorts.
A more perfect
Okay.
form.
Okay. Formulating a plan. We're good.
Okay.
Good.
So that gives us Wallace and Madame Vastra.
I'm not running. Does trying to get Mr. Taylor out of being held count as fighting, or just doing something?
Fighting probably. So
Okay.
that would be last. Madame Vastra?
Madame Vastra is going to. Madame Vastra is going to take a swing at the mannequin that is holding Mr. Taylor.
Okay. So you also want to fight the mannequin.
Yes.
Got it.
My heroes.
I can
Yeah.
be your hero, baby.
No.
You can
just-
take
no,
away the plastic.
Oh yeah.
No. No.
Roll a d6, each of you. We'll see who goes first. Whoever has
Okay.
higher goes first.
I got a 2.
5.
Okay, Wallace, you are up first. How are you getting Mr. Taylor off of the grasp of the Aton?
So I am going to use a story point, try to dash behind it, pick up the Aton, and not suplex it, but toss it across the room and hope that in the commotion, Mr. Taylor is released.
Dang. Okay.
I mean, they're mannequins, right? They're not that heavy.
Right. Let's call that either presence or strength and athletics. And we'll give that, since you spent a story point, we'll give it tricky and give you a +2. Does that sound right? Good? Sure, why not?
Do I add a +2 to the final roll? Or do I mean, I can just tell you the total numbers, 20.
Excellent. Tricky gives you 15, so for your DC. So yes, you manage in a fit of like, my friend, Mr. Taylor, you run over and you rip the thing and you grab it and are able to pull it off of Mr. Taylor. Madame Vastra, I'm going to say that you don't get to throw it just because that's a lot to do in one motion, but
Sure.
you pull it off. So, Madame Vastra,
That's-
Wallace now has the Aton in his grasp. What would you like to do?
Oh. Katana. Swipe down. Take the
Okay.
head off. Yeah.
All right, that would be coordination and fighting.
Okay. Coordination, fighting. Okay.
Or
My katana has numbers on it. I don't know what those numbers are for though. It's 4, 8,
damage.
12. Oh, okay. Okay.
Numbers.
I'm basically ignoring damage because I don't get it. Not gonna lie.
No worries. Okay. So that is an 8 on the dice, and then 8, 16.
Excellent. So a 16, I will say that you managed to at least get that. The arm that was previously holding Mr. Taylor is no longer on the mannequin. It is on the floor.
Okay. And I'll as I say that, can I say something to Alan since he is the consciousness? Okay. So as I swipe down, I'll say, best for you to stay back from my companions.
Did you have something to add, Wallace?
I'm just terrified that she's slashing a katana right in front of me.
Oh, you were fine. Just a couple of eyelashes.
Excellent. Okay. So the Atons will go next. We'll say they're all vampires just for simplicity's sake.
Oh no, vampires.
I know.
I hope that we get all of them. Like we've got one Edward in there. We get a Bella Lugosi, and just the whole spread.
Ooh,
Oh, sure.
What is it? Christopher Lee.
All right, so the one that just had its arm cut off is going to try to get out of Wallace's grasp. We'll do this as a contested roll. So Wallace, go ahead and try to hold him. Do either strength or presence and athletics or fighting. Whichever is stronger for you.
Me.
I got a 15.
Okay. Okay, so he manages to wrench free of your grasp. And he is now standing, going to reach for his other arm. And the one on the other side, closer to Martha, is going to go for you, reaching out to try to grab you. That's a 12. So I want you to do a dodge, basically. It's going to be coordination and
Hi, Jesse.
survival.
Nothing. Just
Coordination 3, survival. Ooh, I
Yeah, how you
like
doing?
that. Double sixes. Which made me lose. Oh, so
thank you.
15, 18.
Okay. You are able to jump out of the way before it gets you. Next one's going for Madame Vastra because it just took its friend's
Huh?
arm off.
Touche.
And that is going to be 15. No. Yes, 15. Can you contest that with your coordination and fighting?
Okay. 7 plus 8, 15. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so you also dodge out of the way deftly, knowing that these robots are out for no good. And the last one that realizes that grabbing onto you is no good is going to pull out its blaster.
Wait.
So
Wait, what?
it has. So on the right arm of this one, it holds its hand out straight in front of it, and the hand part unfolds so that instead of the where the bone would be in like a real person, it turns into a blaster rifle, and it will aim at Madame Vastra because she's the one who has done damage to its friends. So
Bring it on, plastic boy.
but it misses completely. That was a 2 and a 1 on the dice. So it pulls out its thing and very clearly is just, I don't know, distraught or something, and it blows a hole in the ceiling. So back around. Oh, and Alan standing there. He doesn't do anything this round because it's not his fight. Or he doesn't want to fight, I guess. So back around to the top. Who would like to talk?
I would like to talk
Okay, doctor.
for sure. Everybody, stop. I know how to help you.
You know how to help me.
Of course.
Go ahead and roll presence and convince. Or ingenuity and convince, either. Do you need a story point?
6, 15.
I'll totally give a story point.
Did he ever take the one I donated? Because I didn't deduct it.
No, you can hold on to it. I think it should be okay. 13, 17. I'll throw my story point in there just to add an extra die to there. Okay,
'Cause you
so
need to-
22. There we
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Okay, so the Atons stop in their tracks. And Alan goes, "You can help me?"
Yeah,
How?
yeah. Well, we've already figured out the consciousness part, so it's just the plastic. Easy. Plastic's everywhere. The whole galaxy literally overflowing with plastic.
How did you figure out the consciousness part?
Don't you mind that? I figured it out.
Oh, are we sending him to
Okay.
like a junkyard, to like a plastic junkyard?
We still need the consciousness part, the thought part.
Okay. So,
You see, you've made our GM like dig through notes. You see what you've done, Doctor.
how dare you? Um,
Yeah.
if you can get me off of this reprehensible planet and to my own location, I will go with you.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay. And the Atans will then go back up against the wall. Martha, I would like you, since you wanted to do an investigation on him earlier anyway, go up to Alan and give me a in-depth awareness and medicine check.
I'm making big assumptions here, and I hope that this backs me up.
Okay. The odds are not.
Burn
Whew,
the story
okay.
point. Burn the story point.
Oh, I might need to burn a couple of them. So the dice said 4, awareness makes it 7, and medicine makes it 11. I'm going to add another dice roll. I'm going to use a point for an extra dice roll.
Okay.
Plus 4 is 11. Can I add another one?
Yeah,
Just
you
to-
can add
Yeah,
as
well,
many
when
as you
you-
have.
When you have add a story point, you add 2 dice.
Yeah.
Well, I did before earlier, didn't I? And after you do it the first time, it's only 1 die, or is it per turn?
It's
For
per turn.
each point.
Oh,
So
okay.
Each point is
Let's
worth 2 dice.
roll again.
Yeah.
That did not help. 1 more point. Dear God, why does the world hate me? Okay. Yeah,
that's what
went
they're
up.
here for. If you really want to pull this off, just blow them, you know?
Yeah, time is of the essence,
PG-13
Martha.
stream, dang it.
Hey, get your mind out of the gutter, Kim.
Oh goodness, I don't even remember. Hold on. What was my medicine and awareness? So it was 11 plus 4. Okay, so we're to 16 now.
Okay. So 16. I'm going to say, Doctor, do you want to add some Sonic-y goodness to this mix?
Oh, of course.
I got more
yes.
points. Like
I would
can-
love to. Yeah.
I will. So here's how this goes down. Martha, in her attempting to investigate this man, like just is looking at him and trying to figure out, like, if this was just a normal person, you would be real weird right now because you're like totally like kind of poking at the side of his face and stuff. And the doctor comes over and is just like, screwdriver, and he hands it over.
Oh, nice.
And so that
What?
gives you a +3, I'm going to say, for this particular instance, because you really need to be able to
I need the help.
get some
These
kind
are
of
not
scan, because you
working.
can't tell just by like poking at him. This is not something you can poke and figure out.
Can we
So
cross with Star Trek real quick? A tricorder?
you have a tricorder? Yes, 100%. So he hands you the tricorder sonic screwdriver to do a scan to be like, oh yes, okay, so this man is dying. Like, I don't know how he is currently standing in front of me. There's so much damage to his brain tissue that there's no way he should be alive.
Mm.
But somehow this plasticky goodness is keeping him here.
Okay, my assumption is correct then. Fantastic.
So, oh, sorry, more explanation?
No, that's basically it. Is There's something with that plastic that's keeping him alive.
So I guess the take-home message is that we don't tell her back at the rift about any of this,
See,
and we're
but
just like, "Yep, we figured it out."
the soft
If it were
spot-
me, I would want to say bye to Jenny.
that's the soft spots in the space where Martha has her heart part says that we should ask. I would love to ask Alan or the consciousness, whichever, if we can allow her to say goodbye
Okay.
before we take this animation away from Alan.
So you hear in that weird voice again, I am keeping him. He comes with me.
That's
Nope.
fine.
Everybody, stop jumping to conclusions. Okay. Perfect solution. Perfect solution. Alan, you stay with the consciousness. Obviously, only thing keeping both of you alive. So perfect. And then Jenny, what's her name? Jenny?
No, Teresa.
Teresa?
Yeah, Jenny is
Teresa.
Madame Vastra's
There you
wife.
go.
Mhm.
Perfect. Teresa, we'll talk to Teresa. I've got a plan. I've got a plan. We just need to, Alan, consciousness. We'll take you somewhere where you can live in peace.
All right. Well, now that the doctor has a
Alright.
plan.
If all right, you have until she does whatever she does again, and then I will take the rift if you do not fulfill your side of the promise.
Of course.
Calm down, you and your emotions.
I would, Mr. Taylor, at this point in time, would like to give the doctor go for the high five, be like, "Always fantastic plans, doctor," and give him 2 story points if he decides to complete the high five. If not, you get nothing.
Oh man.
High five me or death.
You need to tarnish the sanctity of the high five for these. That's my price.
Yeah, I'll attempt high five. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. So, would you like to then go back or just get out of their line of hearing or what's your
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah. Head back to Teresa and I'll explain my plan along the way.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay. So here's the plan. We'll use the TARDIS. We'll do a scan. There's obviously somewhere that's full of plastic.
And consciousness, doctor, and thought.
He has thought. The consciousness has thought. It has.
Does it need external thought though?
I don't think so. My assumption is no. I think it's good the way it's at right now. You know, and the thought, you know, we'll bring it somewhere and we'll tell Teresa and let Teresa make her own decision on whatever she's doing with this.
What?
Okay, but I think, yeah.
Plastic. Okay, Sam here. Plastic Man and Teresa have their own little world together and just live the rest of their life, you know, happily. If we remove the plastic from him, he's dead. If we remove him from the plastic is dead. It's no good for anybody.
Oh well, I'm on board with that plan. Now they can live together. They can both be happy. Everyone's happy
Everybody's happy
on a
and,
different
you know,
planet.
Yeah, we just
As long
find
as
a good place to put it.
as long as we make Teresa fully aware of what this means for her. Like there's no coming back. There's no.
She's in the unit. Yeah, she understands.
Yeah.
She'll understand.
She's
Yeah,
in
she'll
short-sled.
understand. She'll probably appreciate being given the option of going to her who she thought was dead husband and joining him in a intergalactic garbage heap
But
where there's enough plastic to keep going. And
But there's
she
not
should be
it's not
grateful
even her
that these are the
husband.
options we're giving her.
It
As
doesn't.
it's-
He doesn't even remember her.
As a 12,000-year-old lizard person, love transcend all species. Okay.
Hey, you know, sounds
See,
like a great
only
plan
if
to
it
me.
remembers.
But can
You remember Jenny.
my
That's why you
girlfriend?
love her.
Love
He
transcends.
does not remember.
all. This is Doctor Who.
She's in Horncastle now.
I mean, I do remember when love destroyed the Cybermen.
It's very poetic.
It is.
Oh, we do need
I
a
say
big doctor
to
speech. don't we?
Teresa.
We can go talk to her, but I will let her know all the details that she's signing up for.
Yes, of course. Consent is needed, definitely.
Important.
But
It's important. Yeah.
I have faith
but-
though that she will choose to go.
Power of love, like
Don't
she
take
seems
money.
like yeah.
Don't take fame.
Yeah.
Take a
Curious.
garbage heap on a planet
Yeah.
you've never been to.
As opposed to being stuck
Right.
here in a loop for the past 20 years by herself.
She
That's the
doesn't
power
have
of love,
to be
people.
stuck. She just
Don't
has
need
to
no
be
credit card
able
to ride the ghost
let
train.
go of the husband who she already thought she lost. Ugh. Martha just does not understand this line of thinking.
You and your
Okay,
ape
so-
emotions don't understand anything.
Whoa.
Okay, so you guys are
Lizards.
able to get back out of the ghost house, down the long tunnels and all that jazz, back up to Teresa at Monroe's. You find her down in the rift room. She's still tinkering and doing whatever she needs to do to make sure that it resets at the end of the day.
Mhm.
So who's gonna tell her? Who's going
Martha,
to be the bearer
obviously.
of news?
Martha
I'll
wants to
tell
tell
her.
her
No.
everything.
The
I'll tell her.
doctor seems, I will not make this sound like a good choice. She's already lost her husband.
I
I'm
will
not
tell
going to
her.
convince her to go.
Madame Vastra as an
With a heart.
interspecies relationship holder, credit card holder, member, president.
That's a
The
good point.
interspecies card.
You're the only one who can do this, Madame Vostra.
Oh,
Good luck.
I
And
don't
I
know
go
that
for
you-
and Mr. Taylor good luck goes for the fist point bump. Do you want a story point?
Yes.
Boom. Fist bump completed, story point given. Make the
Boy,
most of it.
These rituals of the inhabitants of this planet are interesting.
They come in handy.
Can I get back the skill point?
I will take it back.
You have sold your soul for a story point.
Okay. After all of that gallivanting on the way back upstairs, I'm going to look to Teresa and explain to her the full situation that your husband Alan didn't quite die, yet his consciousness was merged with a mass consciousness, and now the two have a symbiotic relationship with each other and need each other to now survive. But to do that, they would have to do that off planet. And so now the question on you, Teresa, is how strong is your love for Alan? Would you go with him?
Oh God.
Too strong. Too
We're
strong.
going right into it. Right
You gotta
into
eat.
They'd have the facts.
Isn't there any way we could keep? I mean,
Teresa,
Alan.
his mind, his brain is completely battered beyond recognition. There's the only thing keeping your husband alive is this symbiotic relationship.
And he doesn't know who you are.
Well, certainly, if I went to him, how can you not recognize your wife?
The love between you is strong. I know it is. And he just
How-
needs a reminder.
Now, to be fair, we do have 11 hours left to make this happen. So,
we
I
bringing
mean,
her
what's the
back?
harm in just, taking her back there saying, hey, remember this person from your life?
He is your life.
He does also think he's a circus ringleader, which I don't think you mentioned.
I think he's only dressed up like a circus ringleader, if I'm being honest.
Why would the plastic do that to him?
Keeping with the theme?
Well, it's
So,
her choice
Teresa,
anyways.
your choice
Wanna marry
is
a
to
clown,
go
ahead.
live on another planet. That
Would you like
may
to
or
at least talk to him first?
Please, I don't even believe you at this point.
I
This
wouldn't
sounds
either.
like, I mean,
You're in a unit. These things are the bounds of what is reality
Torchwood.
and what is not. Torchwood.
Torchwood.
My bad.
Don't mix me up with those units people. How dare you?
I know they're the
Rude.
worst, right? They're terrible.
Yes, let's by all means, let's go. Where is he?
And then I want to lead her back down.
Okay.
Is that
To the
okay with
ghost
everyone?
train.
Yeah, I'm just following, shaking my head like she's gonna go with him and give up her life. This
Okay.
is my internal
What life
thought
did
as
she
we
have
go.
here, though?
Big picture
She
thought
will
from
get out of
Sam.
it
We
as
can
soon as we
51st dates
stop the
this.
time loop.
Oh,
She
no.
can find love again.
let's just do it. We'll sit them down. We'll make some fish and chips. They'll
We'll
have
have
a
a
nice
good cuppa.
bonding experience, and then they get to
Yeah.
relive the rest of their life on a garbage heap. Like,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Just the three of
Sounds
them,
like
just the
garbage heap.
throuple that they need.
Yeah, the world's first, trinary
Interspecies, yeah.
polyamorous relationship. It's great.
And you said the
Dave.
doctor wasn't romantic.
Well,
Well, all right then. So you go down, and Teresa, upon seeing her husband, immediately, of course, runs to him and wraps her arms around him. And he, after a moment, he looks down at this person and then looks at you and is like, I'm sorry, is this what, who are you? And she backs away.
But y'all don't want to listen to Martha. Whatever.
Alan, what do you mean, who am I? It's me, Teresa. And he looks at her again, and he glitches a little bit, like his head can't quite, and he looks at her and goes, Teresa, you're, but no, the Nestine consciousness, it is me. And he kind of like can't control himself. Doctor, I'm going to have you roll I'm going to give this to you as a option. You can either do like a sonic-y, like try to stabilize, or like stabilize him so that he stops like freaking out, because it looks like he's short-circuiting at this point. So if you can give like an ingenuity and a technology science roll.
Okay. Ingenuity, and then we'll do technology or science. They're the same thing. Okay. And I will also burn both those points from Mr. Taylor, because I believe in love.
Yeah.
And another one of my own, so I have a fistful of dice here.
Oh,
I believe in a thing called love, people. Let's do it.
So,
Y'all are killing me. I believe in love, but functional love.
This is functional above
Okay.
all other things.
Yeah, it's intergalactic, maybe even international love.
the humans haven't exactly got it down either.
41.
Holy crap.
Crap.
Okay. So, in your attempting to stabilize him enough so that he stops glitching, you simultaneously have an epiphany and are realizing that the energy from the rift is similar enough to what this Nestine consciousness is putting out to keep him alive, that potentially, if you could jerry-rig the equipment that is in her house currently, you could make it so that he survives as long as he stays within the confines of the town and never leaves.
Now we have a choice, people. Now we have a choice.
And you can take the Nestine consciousness completely off of him and leave and take it to wherever it wants to go.
He
Well,
would
I think
die.
we've solved it. I'm going to put my katana back in the sheath because we've solved it.
Perfect.
Because that was a 41. Wouldn't have given it to you for that much. Yeah. So, yeah, we're done early. But that's all right. That was fun.
That was awesome.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we are, huh?
Yeah, that was
man.
it.
Um,
Half an hour early.
Yeah,
So,
something like that.
in returning to the surface, I will say that you are able to come back up And since you have the Nestine consciousness with you, we have the Atons that are helping to carry it. You are able to see the town itself as it starts to come back to life. And the way that you come out of the funhouse, you see that both Alan is like, the way that you were able to disconnect the nesting consciousness enough, you're able to get him talking more. And Teresa, they're just like arm in arm. They can't not touch each other at this point. And you get up to the surface, and now you actually have a seaside town to explore because there are people around. You have you get back to the Monroes, and you are able to actually, we'll make Mr. Taylor do this part, and Wallace, the two of you.
Yeah.
Well, what you say, Mr. Taylor? We get 2 big piles of chips this time.
Absolutely, friend. 2 big piles of chips. Just after whatever it is that we're being asked to roll.
So you're going to come and help Teresa get the rift generator switched over to put out a healing rift energy for Ellen to continue existing. So I need from you ingenuity and science or technology.
All
or
right.
crafting.
I am
Okay.
not a switch flipping person.
Don't you have there's something that you have that's like technology, right, Wallace?
No, I put all my points into skills, and I have a 1 in technology and 2 in ingenuity.
Oh, well. I pegged you wrong.
Can I help? I have 5 in ingenuity.
Sure.
Nice. Okay, then I'm going to burn a story point for this one because I've got them, and yeah,
Why not?
It was ingenuity and technology, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Did you still want me
science
to
or
roll?
craft.
Or science or craft?
see.
I mean, those are all the same. Okay.
25.
Okay. So, Mr. Taylor, with Wallace cheering him on, offering chips, has managed to figure out exactly what the doctor was talking about and has switched this from maintaining all of the temporal loops that were going on into having a healing energy expand from the rift. And because of the way that you've managed with your 25, the rift is no longer any form of potential damage can come from it. It's small enough to just do what you need it to do. And there shouldn't be any further damage that can be caused from the rift itself expanding.
All right, Alan, we fixed your winsome visage.
Yay! So, you have time for the end of your bit to go and have fish and chips or whatever you would like.
It's a lovely day. There's a water on the air. Love is in the air. Martha, can I buy you a churro?
Well, there's beer
I know
in
you
there.
apes like to eat.
I do, but can I get something a little more? Churros are like air with sugar. Can I get more than that out of you?
Well, sure. It's whatever you want. I just saw the sign that said churros.
Awesome. I'm down.
And the doctor is going to say to Teresa, now, Teresa, as you obviously know, because of this whole process with your husband, you know, you must never move away from this idyllic seaside town. It's very important you stay at this idyllic seaside town forever.
Maybe open a diner.
Or a hotel.
We
So much
already
better
have
than a
the diner
garbage
in the
heap.
hotel. That sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I don't know how we couldn't have done any of this. I didn't even know it was Alan that was. Oh, I don't know how to thank you.
Don't. And then, yeah, he'll sprint off.
Don't. Emotions. Ah!
Told you, you apes and your emotions. You
That
just,
sounds pretty on brand, actually, for the Doctor. Just sprint away from emotions.
Yeah.
The
TARDIS begins to make a sound, and it's off to the next adventure.
And all of you hear the TARDIS sound as you're on the outside, enjoying the seaside. Because that sounds like a Doctor thing to do. No.
I think it's time for him to change companions.
Wait, don't leave me. I need to find things.
Phases back in. I think I forgot something.
We all start running and I slap the shirt out of your hand. No time.
Please say Wallace got his chips, yes?
I have 4 beers for you all ready to go, and you're just running away. They're going to be so cross when I come back here. You can't just leave a beer on the order.
Oh God, the Doctor's left so many tabs open.
Oh yeah. 15-20% gone left and right.
That's an interesting concept. The Doctor never has money. So how has he paid for things? And B, when he leaves, then I guess they just don't get paid for.
I think we can answer both of those with one thing: psychic paper.
Psychic paper and companions.
Yeah.
True.
Like he uses companions for their worldliness. Weirdly enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is the end of the adventure. You've all done a wonderful job.
Yay! Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Obviously, none of us had run in Doctor Who before, so
what total pro at whatever these things are.
I know what I'm doing. Of course I do.
Totally.
But I do voice OTR. CA, are we going, since we're done early, do you want us to fill time or what? I mean, we have to do our little exit thing.
We have a request for outros in the comments.
Yeah.
The request for outreach.
Ooh.
Outros.
Okay. Outreach sounds good. Yes, let's go help some.
And I read that as churros the first time.
I do kind of want a churro now.
But this is your fault.
I know.
Dang it.
I know. The thing is that I live in San Antonio. I can just go get a churro. Yeah. Fresh.
I hate you.
Fresh. We're in quarantine. So maybe I can't get one right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be a little.
I don't think I'd want it right now.
Fair enough.
Someone run down there and slap it out of her hand.
Just
not allowed. All right.
We're the saddest person ever. Just cinnamon and sugar everywhere.
Can breathe it in the air. Ugh.
Gross. Okay, so we can go from we'll go backward from the way we introduced ourselves. So say who you are, where we can find you if you're on streams or podcasts or what have you, and we'll go from there.
You said backwards, right? I'm sorry, I was just jumping in there.
Starting.
My bad.
Sorry.
My name is Kalia. I am sorry I don't do the Twitter. I just, it's too much. But I do play every other Sunday, along with Fung Fu Pie over there with the Dicey Amazons every other Sunday. So we played today. We'll play some low-key games next Sunday, and then we'll play the rest of our D&D streaming game a week from that point at 11 o'clock every other Sunday. Dicey Amazons, woot woot, live long and prosper. Is that a thing?
All right, excellent.
Thank you.
And
I guess
Mr.
that's me.
Taylor, Mac. Yes.
So I go by Maction Online. I'm on Twitch and Twitter and things like that, but I rarely do stuff with either. The only place you'd find me regularly would be there's a podcast that I do weekly that's dedicated to video games, and it's called Two Nerds in a Pod. That actually does happen on Twitch weekly as well, and is also on the various podcasting platforms. But I'm nowhere near as prolific as most of you all, so that's kind of it for me.
He gets to play a lawyer on a podcast. It's very fun.
That is very fun.
Sam.
Hi, Sam again. At Samslot007, pretty much everywhere. I don't interact with a lot of platforms much, but if you send me a message, I'll definitely see it. I do a podcast, Dungeons and Dragons actual play podcast called Beholder's Eye that we release every Monday. So check it out. And yeah, I do that with Kim, and she's in it too. So yeah. And if you ever want, just reach out. We've got a Discord and everything like that, and we'll be happy to talk to you.
Yes, very much so. All right. The Fung Fu Pie.
Yeah. So my name is Unika, aka the Fung Fu Pie, or Pie. I like to go by Pie. And now that we're all friends and we've gone through this adventure, please call me Pie, like my grandma does. As Kalia said, I play Dejori in a D&D campaign for Dicey Amazons. Once again, we stream the campaign every other Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Other content coming out from Dicey Amazons. I stream Vigia gameplay from Division 2 and Warframe on Mondays and Wednesdays. And I think we might be having another streamer jumping from the DM role into the gameplay role. Candy. I think she's streaming Knights of the Old Republic, because that is just an adventure that I 100% want to watch again. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. Eric's.
Hello, I am Anythingarax. I go by that on Twitch, on Twitter. I thought the sun would go down and I wouldn't be darkness, but that didn't fix itself. I am trying to just do a regular home game with my group on Tuesday, but just things have been going on. But more importantly, if you're looking for a player for your weird game or something you don't have someone to run with, I want to play it. I like playing games. This was why I did this. It was fun playing with you all.
Very good. And I am Kim, aka Metzgirl, most places online, METZ girl. And of course, Beholder's Eye, I get to be with the lovely Sam. That comes out every Monday. And then I've got LCP D&D, in which we're currently playing Savage Worlds. Used to be D&D. I don't know what we're going to do about that name, but regardless, it's a lot of horribly crass. The last one we did a lot of drugs, so that was fun. And then that Sam's going to be joining us there for the next round called The Deep, in which I don't really know what's happening, but it was interesting so far.
Oh, more wackiness. If you liked this, you'll definitely like that.
Yes, very much so. And then Service Desk Podcast is my other place that you can find me. I talk about technology for the not so technically savvy. And Sam also joins me there because I like Sam. So I like him on all the things.
I love you guys too.
Yay.
I appreciate y'all letting us crash, well, at least me crash the party, because I know Unika's done guest spots, and I like to stay in my little hidey hole. So I appreciate.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was great playing with all of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to do this again.
An honor.
Something like
Thank
this.
you.
I love you all so much.
Okay.
You apes and your emotions.
Get in the way too much.
That is definitely my favorite phrase from this whole thing. You apes and your emotions. But Jasper Game Week has begun already, correct? Yay! And it is going on over on Mini Domain there we go. And they are raising money for suicide prevention and awareness. Because you are not a critical failure. And we all need support sometimes, and to have those things available to those who need them at the time they need them is desperately important, especially with all the crap going on in our world right now. Whew.
Yeah, 100%. This is amazing. I recently lost a good friend of mine to that a couple months ago.
Sorry.
That's yes. Whoop whoop. Trivia? Tournament? I don't know.
Tournament? What? Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Yay!
I don't think the chat could hear.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.